Neil Young's latest album, A Letter Home, is not an album I will recommend to the uninitiated. I will only recommend it to his hardcore fans, and even then, only with reservations, because I think it's going to polarize those hardcore fans as well. For this latest CD, Mr. Young has recorded a selection of covers in a refurbished 1947 recording booth, recorded at Jack White's Third Man Records headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee. Recorded a live track to one-track mono onto a fragile wax disc record. Booths like these were a novelty attraction back in the day. During this time, you would plunk down some cash, and someone would record you speaking or singing into a microphone, and then you would take the disc home to play it for your friends and family. Some people would record themselves singing a song for a loved one and then give it to them as a gift. This is very primitive technology, and more fragile than a vinyl record. And so the audio we are getting is directly from those wax disc recordings. Not only do we get the clicks and pops, we also get an occasional wobble or slight detuning from the disc. Now, ever since the dawn of MP3s, Neil Young has decried our culture's current decline for high-fidelity audio and has been a staunch advocate for high-resolution digital audio. So much so that he is starting his own new high-resolution digital audio music service called Pono that will be making its debut soon. So already there have been some cries of hypocrisy on the internet over this, and some people have asked, how can an advocate of high-resolution audio record an album of such deliberate, poor audio quality? Well, first of all, the two have nothing to do with each other. But for the sake of argument, I will give 3 reasons. 1, to make a point. 2, it's a concept. And 3, because he can. Now I'll discuss the concept first. The album opens with a spoken word audio letter to his departed mother. In it he tells her that his friend Jack has this box that lets him talk to her. Later, after a couple of songs, he interrupts again and says that he and Jack have discovered a lot of the old songs that he used to do, so he's going to be sending them along too. The idea is that this novelty recording booth from 1947 is acting as a portal, allowing Neil Young to send an audio message to his mother from beyond the grave. It's a concept device that is worthy of some of the best episodes of The Twilight Zone. Now, the fuzzy audio quality works to great effect on these spoken word portions, and I wish there had been a few more of these interspersed between the songs. But how you feel about that same fuzzy audio quality during the musical performances is going to be different from person to person. Now, if you were a struggling musician in the pre-digital age, and you were trying to get the ears of the record industry to notice you, you had to have a demo recording, something you could play to a record label A&R rep, something that could showcase your potential to the label. Back then, and even now, there were 2 types of A&R reps. Those that could hear a good song, no matter if it was recorded on a mono cassette deck with a 50-cent cassette tape, and those that could only hear if the audio was the same quality as what the labels could afford. I have always felt that I can tell if a song is good, no matter the technological and production limitations that the recording may have, and I believe that I still can. True, all the songs on A Letter Home are cover songs, so they are already proven songs, but some of them I have never heard before, and I like them too without the benefit of familiarity. But these are also really good performances. But I know that there will be those who will not be able to hear past the limitations of the primitive technology used to record these performances. And that brings us to the point. The point, or at least what I perceive it to be, is that Neil Young wants you to realize that when it comes to music, it shouldn't matter how much production and technology you have or don't have at your disposal. A good song is still a good song, and a good performance is still a good performance. I believe he wants you to listen past the primitive technology and listen to the heart of it, to the heart of the music. But I know that this won't be possible for everyone. And if you are one of those who can't stomach this album because of its primitive audio quality, you are not a bad person. You are not less able to appreciate art. You just hear things differently. And you probably shouldn't be working as an A&R rep for a record label. But having said all this, I still find myself of 2 minds about this album. Now, I like reading Amazon user reviews, and I think sometimes they are more useful and helpful than a lot of the pro music critic reviews that are out there. One such user review recommended that he wished that Neil Young would also have had a modern-day compressor mic hooked up into the recording booth and simultaneously recorded his performance in clear, but still mono, professional audio, and that he had made both versions of the album available as part of the same release. And I find myself wishing the same thing. These are good performances, and I feel that they deserve better treatment. But then, doing that would also be missing the point. Because if he did, most of us would just jump right to the clear audio version and maybe only listen to the recording booth version as a brief curiosity, if we even listen to it at all. Like I said, I can only recommend this album to the hardcore Young fan, and then only with reservation. To the uninitiated or to the casual fan who wants to start exploring the catalog of one of the great singer-songwriters of the 20th century, I would say start with the second album, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, and then start moving forward and see how far you get. As for me, I don't think I'll be buying A Letter Home on CD or vinyl, since it will make little difference in the audio quality. No, unless the album's packaging is outstanding, I think I will just stream it on my subscription service or buy it as an MP3 download. But having said that, A Letter Home, well, maybe not one of my favorite Neil Young albums, will still have a place in my music collection, and I think I will be listening to it for many years to come. And who knows, maybe after we've all learned to listen past the primitive technology and to the soul of the music, Neil Young will see fit to release that other version that I talked about earlier. For Music Worth Buying, this is TJR. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe.